Alright, so unboxing complete. This video is now starting after me and my family have played our first game, and it turned out to be great. It is fun enough to keep a more experienced gamer engaged, and easy enough for a first-time gamer to be able to have a good time too. So there's already tons of these unboxing review videos, etc. out. There are not a lot, however, of folks who have both games here. So I thought I would crack into the older vintage version. What are they, 89, 90, something like that, versus the new one. We'll just compare some stuff. We'll look at the dice, we'll look at the miniatures, game boards, etc. So let me reset the camera here and we'll do just that. Alright, so this is the new game board with 1-inch squares. And as I understand it, the old game, they are 3/4 inch squares. This will give you a good idea of the size difference between. There's a decent size comparison. And a lot of that has to do with newer miniatures. These being 28 millimeter miniatures that work with 1-inch square games. You could take these miniatures and play D&D or whatever with them. They would fit right in with the scale. Here's the game screen from the vintage version, which is in amazing condition. Amazing, because these are about the same condition, but quite a few years in between them. You can see the artwork, while it's different, it's definitely similar, or in the same artistic vein. Looks like they've recreated all the information exactly the same, all the values are the same. So just a remake of the old board. Let's compare some bookcases. So, Vintage Hero Quest bookcase, you can see it's cardboard in full color versus just a molded piece. And I'm amazed at how, I mean, these are heavy. You could huck this thing at somebody and hurt them. So these will, they'll paint up nice, but straight out of the box, it's more 3D, but maybe not as attractive as a full color version. And the new version does come with skulls and rats to decorate your bookcases and whatnot, like the old stuff. So I haven't put those on yet, but I do plan on painting this up. Here's a Fireplace Comparison. I'm gonna try to do some artwork with that. I think I need something in there besides some paint. Torture rack, partially cardboard. Probably the most similar thing are the weapons racks. My box suffers from a little bit of the bending. A lot of people are complaining about some of the miniatures in packing, they're getting bent up, but similarity between the new one and the vintage, probably the most similar in this piece. And then the doors, you can see the old doors are cardboard with a plastic base versus fully injection molded. A little bigger too. You see the new dice are quite a bit bigger. They're both, these are inlaid. These are pretty significantly inlaid. Looks like they changed the artwork a little bit, and the dice are a lot bigger. And probably the most complaints I read were the movement dice. The pips are white instead of gold. It would have been a nice touch if they had used gold pips, but who knows what something like that would have added to the cost. Just noticed that one of my candles almost broke off. Be careful with that. There's a comparison between vintage and new. I'm not quite sure why these are designed this way. I mean, they're heavy, they have nice heft, but who knows how much they added to their shipping cost by not hollowing those out. And finally, the best thing about Hero Quest is the Gargoyle. So there's a difference between vintage and current. He has a whip versus a staff. I don't know, looks like an axe, pole arm. Not a heck of a lot of size difference for him. And Chaos Warrior versus Dread Warrior. These by far were the most deformed miniatures in my box. I did hot water trick on one and it seemed to straighten it out pretty well. But here you can see the scale difference between minis. Quite a bit of difference. So Chaos Warrior, Dread Warrior. And then here's the quest books. You can see it's a lot more of a premium piece with gloss and full color. The original Hero Quest book. Well, the quests are the same. And having played through this one the other day, I can see that everything is exactly the same. This is just more of a paper type of feel, where this is glossy page and the artwork is quite a bit nicer. Probably my biggest complaint from new to old is the old one came with these nice full-size character cards that are stiffer cardboard, something for the player to hang on to. The new ones are basically, they're just regular old cards. With Heroic Tier, they came with the alternate gender characters, so my wife's first question was, is there a female wizard I can play? So it's nice to have that included, so someone doesn't have to, I don't know. I don't know why it makes a big difference to me. I've played female characters in role-playing games and stuff, but apparently that does matter to some people. But, so, I don't know if the core game is going to come with the alternate figures and genders, but it's nice to have that with this. But I do like the cardboard handouts a little nicer than just having a card mixed in with the rest of the deck. So one of the things that comes with the new game is Sir Hagnar. So he's in one of the early quests as the characters, and he wasn't included in the original game, but in the Kickstarter they did include Sir Ragnar, as well as a few other alternate characters in some of the expansions. But if you ever wonder what he looked like, there he is, Sir Ragnar. So from a owner-player's point of view, Hero Quest is something I always wanted, but never got. Everybody saw Bardic Broadcast, right? Everybody's seen that. If you haven't seen that, you need to stop the video right now and head out and search for the best thing about Hero Quest on YouTube, because it is hilarious.
Hero Quest is the best game ever made, and anyone who says otherwise is wrong.
And if it's not hilarious the first time you watch it again.
Barbarian, best character in the game by a long shot, and you should all go play as him immediately. Right, now that the peasantry have gone, the best thing about Hero Quest is the dwarf.
I'm waiting for him. Hopefully he's one of the original, he's a backer, or they at least send him a copy so he can talk about it. But anyway, you need to check that out. But, you know, I tested this out on my family, and they all had a great time with it. So even if you aren't into the nostalgia aspect of this game at all, and hopefully it comes to retail, which I'm sure it probably will, this is worth picking up to play with the family. Like if you're a, you know, retired Dungeons and Dragons dad and you don't have anyone to play with or whatever, this game will scratch the itch for sure. And it's easy enough for your kids to play without them trying to murder hobo the whole town or whatever. It's on enough of rails, but enough freedom to keep it interesting, and the visuals are nice with the furniture and whatnot, especially if you paint your stuff up. Maybe paint these with your kids, you know, whatever you want to do. And you can obviously substitute Dungeons and Dragons miniatures because the sizes are comparable. So these things, I imagine this stuff will be in retail, so a lot of these miniatures will be a little more available, and the plastic on these is a lot more bendable, so this is going to be a lot more kid friendly versus the Games Workshop version that the pieces are pretty brittle. It's pretty common to see broken pieces on that. So anyway, my review on this is a definite buy if you can get it. I wouldn't pay one of the scalpers on eBay. These things are going anywhere from $400 to $600 on eBay right now. So I would definitely wait till it comes to retail. It's supposed to, I think, in 2022, if the rumors are correct. If you have a chance to pick this up reasonably, I would definitely do it. If you're if you have a family where you have a board game night, you're really going to enjoy this. I know I did. That's pretty much it. I think as far as, you know, adventure dungeon crawler games, I think this one is perfection. This thing, it definitely gets 2 thumbs up. We really enjoyed our first session. I'm really looking forward to our next session. I'm really looking forward to the app. They're putting out an app for this game. It's supposed to come out next month. So your kids will be able to play without you or without someone who has a bigger understanding of the game, because the app will kind of guide you through it. The big thing about the app is it's going to be able to introduce extra content. So once you've played through all the missions, whether it just be this or all those expansions, there's going to be stuff in that app that you'll be able to do. And it's supposed to make things a lot easier, like it can act as Zargon and whatnot, which is the DM character in the game, essentially. So anyway, that's enough blathering for me. I really appreciate you guys watching. If anybody wants to see anything else, I'm happy to do a short to display something. I didn't do anything on the expansions because I haven't played them yet. So once we get there and go through them, I will try to do something on each one of those, but I don't know anything about them yet. I haven't played them. I don't know the story. All I know is it's all very superficial. So I just wanted to do this core game, and that's it. So if you guys have a chance to pick it up, definitely do. 2 thumbs up for me. As a person who plays D&D regularly, this is sort of feels like a nice vacation. There's just not a lot of thought. There's not a lot of, you can just enjoy your family or friends' company and play a game that's easy to play, and definitely scratches that fantasy RPG itch. So I've babbled on long enough. I appreciate you guys watching. Subscribe if you would, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you very much.